All right, let's get right into it. We're going to tackle one of the absolute beast questions in your GCSE PE exam, that big 9 marker on commercialization. Think if this is your masterclass, your secret weapon for turning what feels like a massive challenge into some serious marks. So you flick open that exam paper, you see this question, and your heart kind of sinks a little, right? 9 whole marks. It just stares at you from the page. But look, I need you to completely flip how you think about this. This isn't a scary question, no way. It's actually your single biggest chance to rocket up a grade boundary. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to bag every single one of those marks. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First, we'll look at that 9 mark challenge. Then we'll dig into the key knowledge you need, the golden triangle. After that, I'm going to give you the secret sauce, the formula. Knowledge, apply, say why. We'll even walk through a perfect answer, a wiggle, and wrap up with your winning formula to take straight into that exam hall. Sound good? Let's do this. All right, first things first, I want you to stop thinking of this question as some massive hurdle you've got to clear. It's not. It's a platform, it's your stage, it's the one place on the entire paper where you can really show off, where you can show the examiner just how much you know about this topic. You nail this one question, and trust me, you are seriously on your way to hitting those top grades. So, to even begin to answer a question on commercialization, you've got to understand what makes it all tick, right? What's the engine driving this whole thing? Well, it's something called the golden triangle. And getting your head around this concept, that's the foundation for scoring all those juicy knowledge marks. And here it is. This is the golden triangle. It's pretty simple when you break it down, really. You've got 3 key players here: sport itself, the media, and sponsorship. Now, the crucial thing is they're all completely linked. They all need each other. Think about it. Sport needs the cash from media rights and sponsorship deals. The media? Well, they need exciting sports to show people. And the sponsors? They're desperate for the eyeballs, the exposure that being on TV during a big game gives them. They're all locked together in this triangle that generates an insane amount of money. So let's see how this cycle actually plays out in the real world. Step 1, a massive brand, like a big soda company, decides to sponsor a huge event, say the World Cup. Step 2, the media goes crazy for it, right? It's on every channel, 24/7 coverage. So step 3, that sponsor's logo is now suddenly being beamed into the living rooms of billions of people. And what happens next? Step 4, we, the viewers, start to link that brand with all the excitement and glory of the World Cup. Their sales shoot up. And guess what? Now they have even more money to sponsor the next massive event. It's this powerful, self-fueling cycle that just keeps on turning. Okay, so you've got the knowledge about the golden triangle. Awesome. But how do you actually turn that knowledge into 9 out of 9 marks? How do you structure your answer? Well, this is the secret. This is the part that a lot of people miss. It's a really simple, repeatable formula that's basically designed to tick every single box on the examiner's mark scheme. And look, it is so important that you understand this. The 9 marks aren't just for, dumping facts on the page. It doesn't work like that. The marks are split perfectly into 3 chunks. You get 3 marks for AO1, that's your knowledge. Then you get another 3 marks for AO2, that's application, using examples. And finally, 3 more marks for AO3, evaluation. It's an even split, which means you have to deliver on all 3 parts to get anywhere near those top marks. So let's start with AO1, knowledge. This is your foundation. It's where you just show what you know. You make a clear point. You define a key term. Simple as that. It's the building block for the rest of your paragraph. Then we have AO2, application. And honestly, this is where so many people fall down. You cannot just talk in general terms. It's not enough. You have to apply your knowledge using a specific, real-world sporting example. This is what shows the examiner you're not just repeating a textbook. You can actually connect the dots between the theory and what happens on the pitch or the court. And last but definitely not least, AO3, evaluation. This right here is where you bag the top marks. It's not enough to just make a point and give an example. You have to analyze it. You have to weigh it up. And the absolute best way to do that is to argue both sides. What are the good things and what are the bad things? Showing that balanced view, that's what proves you have a really deep understanding of the topic. So if you take one thing away from this section, make it this. It's a simple little rhyme to lock into your brain. When you're in that exam hall and the pressure is on, just repeat this to yourself. Knowledge, apply, say why. That's it. Make your point, back it up with an example. Then say why it's good and why it's bad. You do that for 3 solid paragraphs, and those 9 marks, they're as good as yours. Okay, theory is one thing, but let's actually put this into practice now. Let's see what this looks like in a real answer. We're going to walk through a perfect model answer, what we call a woggle, or what a good one looks like, for a classic question about the impact of commercialization. Okay, so for our first paragraph, let's focus our analysis entirely on the impact commercialization has on the performers, the athletes themselves. Right, here we go. We kick off with our knowledge and apply. The knowledge point, that's our AO1, is that commercialization can turn performers into global superstars. And the application, our AO2, our specific example, is that they're often motivated by massive extrinsic rewards, things like huge, lucrative sponsorship contracts. Now for the say why part, the AO3 evaluation. Let's start with the positive. Well, it's pretty obvious, right? The performer gets global fame and becomes financially secure for life. But what's the downside? This is where you show that amazing balance. The negative is the unbelievable pressure that comes from those sponsors. They might even be forced to play while they're injured, risking their entire career. Now that is a top-level evaluation point. Excellent. One paragraph down, 2 to go. You can see how the structure builds, right? Now let's shift our focus and look at the impact on a different group, the spectators, the fans. And we follow the exact same formula. Knowledge and apply. Our knowledge point is that, because of commercialization, spectators get way more opportunities to watch top-level sport. And our application? We can point to media channels like Sky Sports, who show countless matches that, years ago you just wouldn't have been able to see. Time to say why. The positive is clear. More access means more fun for fans watching at home. But what's the negative side of the coin? Well, it's the cost. Ticket prices go through the roof, and TV subscriptions can be super expensive. This means loads of dedicated fans, particularly from less well-off families, get completely priced out of watching the teams they love. That's a fantastic, nuanced argument. Okay, one more point to really seal the deal. Let's stick with spectators, but look at how commercialization has literally changed the sports themselves. Our knowledge point, sports have changed their formats to make them more exciting for TV. And the absolute perfect example for our application, the creation of T20 cricket. It's shorter, it's faster, it's more explosive. It was practically designed to be perfect for TV audiences. And for our finals, say why. The big positive is that these flashy new formats can bring a whole new generation of fans into the sport, which is great. But the negative? You risk putting off the traditional hardcore fans who love the older formats. This can even lead to the decline of things like Test cricket, as all the money and the star players get pulled towards the more commercially successful T20 leagues. And there you have it, 3 fully developed points, each with a balanced argument. That is what a 9 out of 9 answer looks like. So there we are. We've covered the knowledge, we've got the technique, and we've walked through a perfect answer. Let's just boil all of that down into one final, winning formula that you can take away and use every single time. This is it. This is your checklist for a perfect 9. First, start with a clear point. That's your knowledge. Second, back it up with a real sporting example. That's your apply. Third, evaluate both the good and the bad. That's your say why. Just repeat that structure for 3 separate, well-developed paragraphs. If you follow this plan, you're not just answering the question, you are absolutely mastering it. Now go out there and get those 9 marks.